What's up, guys? You're not being pranked right now. You're not being punked. Ashton Kutcher is not going to jump out any minute. Whatever you see there, whatever caught your attention, the title, the thumbnail, or whatever, all of this is absolutely true. Look, I'm not even sitting in my house where sometimes I drink a little bit too much and make nonsensical videos about getting fired from mega carriers. No, none of that is happening. You guys aren't going to believe me. You're going to think I'm screwing with you. I'm going to work for Swift. Yes, I'm serious. We got a lot to talk about. I wish I'm not lying to you. You can see this video is making me very nervous. I'm not lying. I just did my drug test and physical just a little while ago, and now I'm waiting to hear when I go to orientation. I'm telling you the fucking truth. I am going to Swift orientation as soon as we schedule it. Oh boy, let's talk about it. But first, let's talk about the absolute hell I've been living in for the last 2 days. I've been running around Texas, dodging Texans for the last 2 days. Yeah. You know what's really the worst part about Texas? There's fucking Texans in it. That's it. That's what makes it fucking terrible. Everywhere you look, there is another Texan. And it only takes one Texan to ruin your day, and there's fucking millions of them. So imagine how many times your day gets ruined in just one day by all the dadgum Texans. I tell you what. So, we're trying to get the hell out of here. I don't know what's next. You know where I'm supposed to be right now? You know where I'm supposed to be right now? At home. Yeah. You know where I'm not? Well, I'm in my truck, which apparently is more home than my house anymore, because this company never, ever sends me home. I don't get it. We'll talk about it more. But yes, guys, I am dead serious. I am going to work for Swift. I'm going to tell you the main reason I went over there later in the video. We'll get to it. And it's a big reason. It's actually a big reason. And some of you, I bet, already know what that reason is. Some of you that are paying attention to what's going on in the industry. But Swift gave me a reason to apply. So I did. So originally, this started out as just sort of a concept for a video. And this is how far I'm willing to take things sometimes. I'm going to make a video about it. Nah, I think I'm just going to fucking do it instead. So I was talking to my good friend. He does all my thumbnails for me, and me and him talk a lot on the phone about different things relating to YouTube, different topics we could do for videos. He supports me a lot in you know, titles, thumbnails, topics, things like that. And he does a lot more kind of behind the scenes than maybe you guys realize. He really helps me out a lot. And I was talking to him on the phone one day, and I was talking about what I thought was a good concept for a video, one that would maybe bring in some new viewers. Why am I stuttering? Some new viewers. And I wanted to do a video on why a veteran truck driver would go drive for Swift. And he said, so tell me about it. What are your ideas? Why would a veteran truck driver go drive for Swift? So I start giving him all the reasons that I can think of. And the main reason, like I said, is coming later. I'll tell you. But I was talking about Swift is absolutely fucking massive, right? We all know that. And when you're in a freight market like we are right now, maybe it's better to work for the place that has plenty of work. Sorry, I'm sweating like a fucking whore in church. Is that how they say that one? Well, I tried once saying sweating like a stuck pig, and apparently that was the wrong one. I don't know, man. So we'll go with whore in church because I'm way down in Texas and it's super hot, and I forgot to turn my AC on before I went inside to get me a shower, and now I needed another shower. So anyways, I was telling them about like the massive freight network, obviously, that Prime, Jesus, fuck Prime. No one gives a shit about Prime. And I know the Swift jokes are coming, guys. It's okay. If I'm gonna put it out on the internet and say I'm going to work for Swift, I better be prepared to take the jokes. Forgot what I was fucking saying. Forgot what I was talking about. I'm amused. I'm fucking amused because there used to be a time here on YouTube that I gave a shit about what other people said about me. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this now. I don't fucking care because I call the shots in my life. I just dropped my vape. I decide what I want to do. that takes me back to years ago before I was a truck driver, right? I used to watch trucking YouTube, and it was the silliest shit you could imagine. It was a bunch of grown men sitting around bitching about what other grown men are doing. I can't believe he took that job over there and he jumped in that lease purchase. Does he even know what the fuck he's doing? And if he would have just fucking listened to me, he would be a lot more successful right now. But he's over there trying to be a damn adult and make his own damn decisions, and I do not approve of that. And that's what trucking YouTube was. Shockingly, it still fucking is sometimes. And the point is, I don't fucking care. I'm amused because somebody's gonna go, job hopper! Yeah, you're damn right. You know why? Because if a job isn't providing what I need from it, I don't have to suffer through that shit. There's plenty of people out there that'll hire me. Absolutely. Plenty of people that won't also. I'm aware of that. But yes. When people yell about job hopping, it doesn't matter what the industry is. It just shows their lack of understanding of our current work environment, right? Job hopping is how the fuck you get ahead in today's world. Let's say you're just out there hauling freight 5 years ago for the same company. Your wages probably haven't increased much while they're bringing a bunch of new people in the door that are making 20 cents more than you to haul the same freight you're hauling. And if you would job hop, then you would go somewhere where you would make that extra 20, 30, even 40 cents, because that's just, maybe not 40. Let's not go that far. Maybe not 40. But job hopping is how people give themselves raises these days, because companies aren't fucking giving them. So what I've learned is I don't give a fuck anymore to listen to some hick talk about what I'm doing with my own fucking life, and I'm gonna do it anyways. So job hop, yeah, we're doing it again, baby. We're doing it again, baby. God, I am fucking pouring sweat. God damn, this is gross. I'm gross. All right, where was I going with this? I always get sidetracked, don't I? I think I just noticed how often I get sidetracked in my videos. What are we talking about? Okay, so their vast freight network, and unfortunately that's kind of a sad thing to say, because all that says is the mega carriers won, right? They have lowered wages or lowered rates so far that you can't really stay competitive out there. You can't, as a single truck owner operator. I mean, we see them going under every day, and that's absolutely tragic that that's the thing that happened. But as you guys know, I have a horrible time with any company I go to with trying to get home. There are a few different locations around the country where I take my home time, and for some reason, every company I've ever worked for has failed fucking miserably to get me to some of those over and over, even though I ask them when I go to work there, can we get to this location? They're like, ah, fuck yeah, that's no problem. So part of the solution was, you know, if you were to work for Swift, they have terminals fucking everywhere. They have drivers everywhere on the road that can swap loads. That's so gross. And there shouldn't be any excuse why a company that big can't get you mostly anywhere in the country for your home time. As a matter of fact, with them being that big, it would be completely unacceptable. And you guys have seen me spent months locked in the truck because companies just straight up skip my fucking home time and say, better luck next time, bitch. Not our fucking problem. And I gotta be honest, I got sick of that. I work hard, man. I mean, let's not get carried away. I drive a truck down the road. It's a mental game more than it is any kind of physical game. But I work for long periods of time, months at a time, and for a company to say, hey, we just aren't getting you home again this time, it's unacceptable. And that's all there is to it. Especially here, as a lease operator, I can do whatever the fuck I want in theory. But here's what always seems to happen. When they're supposed to be getting me home, they send me way the fuck in the wrong direction. And even if I tell them, hey, no, that's not the way I'm supposed to be going, they send me another bullshit load. It's all bullshit is what I'm trying to tell you. And then they're like, well, you could always deadhead home. I mean, you are leasing the truck. And I got to pay all those miles, because that's how my lease works. I pay for the miles I put on the truck. I got to pay all that fuel. And it's all because you just decided not to get me home. I disapprove. I disagree with that completely. So that was one of the reasons I was giving my friend about why you might consider Swift as a veteran truck driver. So we've got the freight market, we've got the home time basically anywhere you want it. There's so many choices at Swift. You could do local. You could do dedicated. I'm not trying to sell you guys on it. I'm not going to do referrals and bullshit like that. For anybody that didn't watch for 10 minutes now is probably in the comments pissed off going, he's just trying to get referrals. I don't give a fuck where you work, okay? I'm not trying to get referrals. But I'm just explaining the reasons I was giving him in the video. And so, yeah, you could do local. You could do dedicated. You could do regional. You could do over the road. Those are just the different places you can drive. Now you can do dry van. You can do reefer, and I believe you can do flatbed. I think those are the 3 divisions that Swift has. So now all of a sudden you're at a company where you've got so many goddamn choices that it's like, how many companies in one is that when you look at all the different variations? And the fact of the matter is, my friends, I meant to say this earlier in the video, I'm a freight hauler, okay? That is the part of trucking that I like, and I fully understand that is entry-level trucking. That's rookie trucking. It's not doing your heavy haul. It's not doing your hazmat or even your doubles, triples, anything like that. It is just hauling freight down the road. It is the most basic form of trucking that you can do. But it is where I'm happy. I love you guys, but sometimes I don't know. This sounds bad. I love you guys, but go fuck yourselves. No, that's not what I meant. Sometimes I don't know why I spend so much time justifying why I like the part of trucking that I like. But a guy will come along and go, Josh, you have to go do the job that I like doing because I like it. And that's why I think you should do it. And I go, hey man, I'm just an over-the-road freight hauler. That's what I like doing. And he goes, but Josh, I make $800,000 a year, because they always inflate their numbers, and I just do whatever I want, and it's the greatest job ever. And I say, to me, it doesn't sound like the greatest job ever, because a lot of times you end up doing like dedicated stuff or working with other people. Gross. Who likes to do that? That's fucking disgusting. I like just getting on the fucking open road and just going wherever the fuck I'm going, and just me and the truck. And that's why I got into trucking. I understand, like I said, this is rookie trucking. This is entry level, but this is the part I like. And it's not because I haven't tried anything else. I started in the oil field hauling water. Then I hauled sand in the oil field. I've drove a tow truck. I've drove a trash truck. I've done local work. I've done the overnight line haul bullshit. I have done a lot of different things in trucking to try to find the place that I like. And this is it, baby. The road. All right? But then what's a funny thing that happens is when I don't go get the job that the other guy likes so that he thinks I should have it, he comes back 6 months later enraged on my channel that I still haven't went and got the job that he wants. Josh, I told you, you have to work where I work. Why don't you ever listen to anybody? Because I'm a grown man. Because I'm a grown man, goddammit. And I know what I like in trucking. And I know that it doesn't pay the best. I understand that. But give me the open road, baby, and let me fucking go. Right? That's what I love. That's the part I fucking love about trucking. So the point I'm trying to make is I'm a freight hauler, baby. That's what I do. Well, if I'm going to haul freight, and I'm going to want to go home in different places around the country, and I'm going to want to have a whole lot of different options, maybe, then it almost seems like Swift really makes a lot of fucking sense for me. Because maybe they can't get me home on the over-the-road shit. Maybe that all goes to hell. I doubt it, because they're so big. But then I go to them and say, look, what do you have that's dedicated that could get me to this place and this place? There must be something, because Swift is huge, right? They're so big that there's almost always a solution to whatever your fucking problem is, right? So I was presenting all these ideas to my friend. And he said, do you really believe all this? And he wasn't being sarcastic. He's been trucking for about 5 years, I think. So he's been around. He knows about trucking, right? But I've been around doing trucking for 10 years. And he does the more specialized type of stuff, right? Makes the real money out here. That's what he does. He makes the real money. But he understands where I'm coming from when I talk about these things. He understands that I love the fucking road. Now, he's on the road too. But he's not on the road the way I'm on the road, man. I don't know week to week what's coming up, what's going to happen, where we're going. And I love it. I love the chaos. My brain works good with that kind of chaos. And I love it. But he says, do you really believe this? And I said, I actually do, yeah. I don't think I would be putting out that video as like a lie. Now, I could very easily do a satire video about why to go to Swift also. I could do that. But I genuinely believe that in what I'm saying. And he says, well, hasn't your company been kind of dicking you around lately? I said, kinda? My company's been really dicking me around lately. Constant flip-flopping schedules, won't pull me off the reefer division. I've asked 5-6 times now. Sitting me to wait for a load because it's their big customer. Fuck my miles, right? And I said, yeah, my company has been dicking me around lately. He says, so why not apply, dude, if you really think this? And I got self-conscious. And I said, man, you know, as soon as I apply to Swift, there's going to be 30 fucking videos made about old this guy trucks. And then I got to listen to it and all that. And he goes, you got to listen to it? I said, no. He's like, right, yeah, you don't got to listen to anything. You fucking can mind your fucking business. He says, who cares, man? He says, it doesn't matter what you do, this guy trucks. He said, you could fucking do anything with trucking. You could start hauling rockets like nuclear bombs. I don't know if he said all this or if I made it all up. I might have made it all up. I'm not really sure. He said, and you could get out there and you could make $500,000 a year doing the most specialized thing in trucking. He said, they're still going to target you, this guy trucks. So if you really believe this and freight is where your heart is, why don't you fucking apply? I thought about it. Thought about how does this apply to my normal life, like my life, right? And that's when it all started to click. I said, wait, there's no reason I couldn't get the home time that I want in the places that I want with a company that big. Now I'm going straight into the dry van division, and that the big reason I went to Swift is coming up, but that's part of it. Because you know Swift is going to have a ton of drop and hook with the dry van, maybe even the reefer. I don't really know. I don't know about flatbed. Maybe we got a Swift flatbedder over here. I've seen drop and hook for flatbed. I mean, it's not unheard of. It does happen. Melton has some drop and hook for flatbed. I said they're going to have a ton of drop and hook. They've got a terminal everywhere, so they can get me anywhere in this country. Let me check on their lease program. Because you guys know I like my leases, don't you? Yeah, you know I like my leases. Absolutely. I started going through their lease program and went, it pays a little less than what I make here. A little. But I think it's manageable. I think it's manageable, especially if you go to that dry van side and you get into that drop and hook and you just get on down the road and do your thing. I think it's very fucking manageable. Now, will I become a millionaire at Swift? Probably not. But I wonder, oh, maybe Swift is publicly traded, baby. Maybe I'll start buying Swift stocks too. Maybe I'll do that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm trying to get rich, goddammit. And then I started watching a bunch of Swift videos from their YouTube channel, a bunch of live streams they were doing and stuff and answering questions. When I got hit like a ton of fucking bricks by the most brilliant thing ever that made me, I'd already applied by that time, but it made me realize this might have been the greatest thing I've ever done for myself, was applying to Swift. Because as of yesterday, my friends, here's the big reason I've been talking about. As of yesterday, Swift has released an internal load board to their dry van over-the-road owner-operators. Now, Swift refers to everyone as an owner-operator that is not a company driver, so that's lease purchase and all that stuff too, which means, my God, guys, I just got access to possibly the biggest fucking load board on the planet, and I just get to pick my fucking loads, and I get to mind my business. Do you guys realize how huge that is for me? That's what I've been begging for ever since I sold my truck. Just let me go. Just let me fucking run. And then guys, if I'm sitting around and I don't have a load, there's no one to blame. It's my own goddamn fault. And when they released that load board, I can't finish what I was going to say. It would have got me demonetized. I made quite the mess, let's say. Because this is the fucking thing I've been looking for since I sold my truck. Oh my God. And it's out. It's released. And they plan to keep expanding on it. And after watching a whole lot of videos about how Swift works with their lease operators / owner operators, you get to make these decisions. Do you want to be dispatched and planned out? Do you want to get on that load board and just do your own thing? Hey, fucking up to you. That's up to you. Hey, as long as Swift gets their money for that truck payment and those fixed costs, yeah, they don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want. I'm gonna run the load board, baby. Oh my God. Oh, I fucking... When I found out that load board was out, I think I just made a mess again. Did you hear that sound I just made? Holy shit. When I found out that load board was out, and then when Swift came back and said, "You're approved, son, you're approved," oh, I almost lost it. I don't even care what all the jokes are. Fucking Josh is just a rookie Swift driver. I don't give a fuck. I get to run the load board, baby. I get to just mind my business and pick my loads. If I don't get my home time, it's my own goddamn fault. If I don't get my miles, it's my own goddamn fault. And my friends, I had no problem moving my truck on the spot market to where I wanted when I owned my truck before. I could get around this country and go where I wanted to go and stop and see whoever I wanted to see. And I had no problem doing that from the spot market. Now we're talking about Swift's freight network. I am the happiest motherfucker on the planet right now, because I get to go do that. Now, it's not like nobody can do it. Swift doesn't really have high requirements, right? But it's also an interesting thing, because a load board doesn't work for everyone. And that's not me talking shit. A load board just doesn't work for everyone. Some people need to be dispatched. Some people need to be planned out. The load board is just for their OTR dry vans. So for now, they said they plan to increase that to the reefer side too, I guess, eventually. But like, if you're dedicated, why would you use a load board, right? So it's not a thing for everybody, but that's the absolute fucking brilliance of what I'm talking about. There's something for everyone over there. Now, I understand that Schneider has a load board too, but I never just could get on board with Schneider's lease program. And Swift has a few different options for leases also. You could do the lease to get a brand new truck, or you can do the lease to get like a little older truck for a lower payment. Those are your choices. And I'll figure that out, because I think I'm leaning toward the older truck with a lower payment. But then I talk to some people and they're like, dude, get the brand new truck. And then I'm like, let me check the payments on it. I'll look into that. So I'm not really sure, but they've got so many damn choices that you get to pick what you want to do. But I just could never get on board with a Schneider lease, is what I was trying to say. For something about it, I didn't feel good about it. So I never went over there. But to me, it doesn't even matter the name of the company on the side of that door. If any company would have told me, hey, just get on the load board and do your own thing, I would have never left, baby. The only reason I left that is because I had to sell my truck. That's it. I'm dead serious. I'm going to Swift soon, and I'm gonna run on their load board, and I'm gonna run my truck how I want, when I want, and that works for me, because I'm a pretty motivated guy. I got no problem getting my loads booked out and being ready to go do those, and managing my clock and knowing if I can do another load or if I need to shut her down and all these things. But that is the reason, guys, that I'm on the road. That sense of freedom, that sense of like I'm the actual captain of the ship. I'm calling the shots. I'm making the decisions. And Swift, like it or not, just made that possible. And I'm taking that opportunity to go over there and do that. And I'm going to run my little heart out, and I'm going to take my home time when the fuck I want, when I'm ready for it, instead of being at the mercy of a load planner and dispatcher that don't give a flying fuck if you get home time or not. Now it all falls on me, and I love it. I love it, baby. Anyways, that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, and I probably am, but that's what the fuck we're doing. See you guys in the next video.